So hey everybody, it's Margaret again. This is part 4 of this thing that we're doing today, telling my story in little snippets about the life and times of a small business owner in Spring Hill, Tennessee. So where we left off was the day that my sign business was over because I got the call to have the opportunity to buy Vintage 615, and it changed my life to now being a business owner with my own boutique. And so it was a well run oil machine because since I was a vendor in there, I saw how it ran. And the owner had set it up where she mostly ran it from home. And she had employees and was all set up and everything. And I thought, well, this is the perfect kind of business to own if you're going to own one. Everybody else is doing everything. And it's working. So I enjoyed that for it. And I'd come in and I'd learn a few things, I'd do a few things, but I kept my staff intact, and it was a blast. But during that time, what I did was I got approached very early in the game. I think before I even signed the papers to own the business, I got invited into the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce. I remember we had an event and we hadn't crossed over ownership yet, and I was running the event that day, and we are going to sign papers maybe like 4 days. And so this woman just comes up to my table and she says, so you're the new owner? And I was like, yeah, or I don't know what she said, but anyhow, what she said was, you need to join the chamber, and turned around and walked off. And I thought, who was that? Y'all, it was Wonder Woman. She looked just like Wonder Woman. It was Casey Williams. She was just like one. Came up there, told me I need to do that, and took off. And she's now one of my best friends. So that was, and then the next thing I know, George Barbier. Is that how you say George's name, Curtis? Barbier? Barbie? You know who George is in the chamber. He came to the store one day, and I was in the back room, doing some paperwork or something. And I heard somebody say, I'm from the chamber and I like to speak to Margaret. I jumped up and ran and was so happy to see him. I probably grabbed him and hugged him, and I could tell he was excited but he was overwhelmed because I just leaped on him. I said, I want to join, sign me up. I'm so glad you came. So glad you came and signed me up. And so he instantly became like a business father for me. And so much so that this past Thanksgiving, we were all volunteered at Frank and Salsa's Grecian's restaurant, where they donated and fed 1,000 people. And so I was working in the kitchen and went by, and George was working in the kitchen. And that was all she wrote. I was with George for the rest of the time. And now, instead of him teaching me how to be a businesswoman, a business owner in Spring Hill, he's teaching me how to make gravy. And I'm hooked. So I've had people in my life since I came into this community that's just taken me under their wings. They've taught me, they've loved me. We've become family together. I know I talk about that all the time, and y'all probably get tired of hearing me saying it, but it's important to me. Is these relationships, they're awesome. Anything that I need, whether it's if I'm low, if I'm high, if I'm trying to figure something out, if I need help, it's like this community comes together, and I've been calling them the Avengers because that's what they do. They swoop in and they're your friends, and it's not just business stuff. It's like we take each other food, we stay at the hospital with each other, we're family. And so I think that too is one of the things that I love, and what we bring into the brand of Vintage 615 is it's all the parts of all these little snippets that I've talked about, that's made it. So sometimes people may say, well, how'd you do it? It's it's really hard to say how you do something. Some people may have that, that plan of how they do things. But I think my life has just been little snippets of things that I've learned, I've gone through, my culture, just everything, my jobs, everything that's made Vintage 615 the way it is. And I love it. I would not change it for anything in the world. I love this community. Sometimes I feel like Oprah in the store talking to my people, but I love it. It's amazing. And so that's just part of being a small business owner to me in Vintage 615 at Spring Hill, Tennessee. So y'all come see us And thank you so much for your support. It's like, we couldn't, even with all of that, you can't do this, without the support of your community and the communities around and the people who just want to come and support you. And I just appreciate you guys so, so much. You make this fun. We get to do this together. And I get to hear your stories. You get to hear mine. When you come in the store, you don't know what might happen when I'm in there. It's always something. My family's been calling me Lucy, like Ethel and Lucy. I can't help myself, but it's always fun. So thank you guys. Thank you for Small Business Saturday, and we'll see you later.